Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Let's get this party started.
Oh, I feel it burn.
Yes, sir.
5x5.
Shout out 5x5. What's up, everybody? Pinche, Ben, and Jimmy here with another episode of the Cast&Blast podcast. This is episode 11, Jimmy.
Episode 11.
Man, we got over the 10 mark, right?
Hit the hump.
That was a milestone for us, guys. Now, check this out, man. So, we intended to be bringing you guys some weekly episodes, and very much so that was the intent. But, you know, we got tied up with hunting season, had to kind of pull away from the studio and get out in the field. And then, you know, fishing season's picking up now. There's no fishing season, but it's getting good.
It's fishing season. So we did. Not only did we get tied up in fishing and we got or tied up in hunting, but we got busy with that. You had work trip. I had a few health issues we had to work through, you know.
Yeah.
So we got work through that. Good to go now. And here we go. You say there's no fishing season, but it's fishing season.
That's right. So, man, I'll tell you this. We have been kind of talking about the things that we're doing, prepping. So bottom line, we don't have a topic of discussion. We're just going to freaking wing it, bro.
Yeah, man, we're talking. Dude, it's beer drinking and it's talking.
That's right,
right?
man.
So we
man
got
shit.
Man shit. We got the thing is we have so many things that we need to be doing, we want to be doing.
Right.
So we're trying to balance the wants, needs, and have tos.
Sure.
And what we want to be doing is we want to be out on the water making some content right now on the water, right? But we need to be making content where we can. We just don't have the time right now. But what are we doing right now that has kind of been taking up some time that we're getting ready for? We got some exciting news going on.
Yeah, so guys, we actually got a spot at the Belton Market Days. You guys know that we are here based out of Central Texas. We're right in the heart of Texas, man. And we're going to be setting up a booth at the Belton Market Days, April 15th. Mark your calendars. Come check us out. We're going to have some merch. We're going to have some great products that we are resellers of. And we're going to have some, you know, high heat outdoor camo. We're going to have the Dove cord out there. We're going to have the ultimate shotgun rest. You know, you guys are going to see that displayed at our booth. And then on top of that, we're going to have all our fishing apparel and our tackle and all that stuff. So we're going to have some baits. We're going to have some tackle. We're going to have some fishing.
I think RPG's coming through with some baits.
That's right, man. So we're going to be bringing you guys all the stuff that you can find on our catalog or our website. So if you're not going to our website and you want to help us grow, man, that's what we're doing is reinvesting back into the podcast. If you can't tell, we got another camera, guys. Bringing you guys another angle. And
we're trying. We're out here grinding. We're grinding, man, and trying.
Every dime that goes into the Cast&Blast Outfitters is getting reinvested into you guys, whether it be a new camera, some audio equipment, setting up a booth so we can get some merch to you guys and get that in your hand.
More inventory for merch.
Yeah, and
different types.
It's a grind, man. We're a small business, small veteran-owned business that is just Jimmy and I and the Cast&Blast crew. Speaking of the crew, man, Chewy and Luis are getting out there, getting on the tournament. April 7th.
I think April 7th, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be out there supporting those guys and making sure they're launched in style, man, looking good, wearing the Cast&Blast apparel. We actually got sponsored by High Heat Outdoors for the Cast&Blast fishing tournament. Those guys are going to be so the Cast&Blast crew, Chewy and Luis are going to be representing the Cast&Blast Outfitters fishing that tournament. So let's wish them some luck, man, and hopefully those guys do well on the tournament. And it's all about just getting out there and getting on the water, man, and learning, right?
And that's a good thing. Yeah, learning. And that's a good thing we're a team like you were talking about. April 7th, we got Chewy and Luis fishing the tournament. And then we got hog hunts that day too. So, you know, we're going to have to part ways, split things, and figure some things out. So we got some hunters coming in wanting to do some good pig hunts. We got Chewy and Luis on the water. So it's going to be...
what kind of pig hunts are those guys doing, man?
So we're going to... A little bit of both. So we're going to start off with some daytime, just spot and stock style pig hunting. So we'll start in the late evening.
Man, how close do you get to them pigs, man? I know the answer, but I want the people to hear it.
Well, all right. I mean... I guess, we can say like 5-10 yards.
I mean, you can reach out and touch them.
If we can find them, I mean, we can almost stab them, while they're sleeping. So sometimes, we'll try to find them bedded down during the daytime sleeping.
I've been out with Jimmy, man, and he's actually just kind of like waking them up, man. Just be like, I mean, we got to post that content sometime of you just waking up a whole sounder out there.
Yeah, maybe we'll throw a shorty in here, a short video.
There you
walking
go.
Up on them, walking up on pigs, waking them up from napping, and
Wake up! Wake up!
So, man, it kind of goes back to what we're doing, man. It's nonstop. We are as active as we can possibly be. I have a 9-to-5, man. Jimmy's retired now, so he's out there really behind the scenes getting after it, putting clients on hunts and doing all that stuff. When I'm available, I'm out there working with him. Jimmy's out there at the edge of the water finding his, fishing holes and all that stuff. And speaking of fishing holes, man, you're going to be kind of putting me on some catfish here soon.
Man, I think so. So me and my son went out the other day trying to, find some good holes to get some content in. Something you got to, it's pre-gaming, right? So you got to get out there. You got to put some boots on the ground, some work in to make sure that if you get out and you want to film something, that it's going to be good content, right?
Yeah.
So we found a few good holes, but there are some things that we kind of want to do and kind of go through the steps about how we do that, what we look for, and how we use whatever devices, whatever resources that we have to be able to find that. Like, how does that work for us? How are we able to find those with what we have? So we kind of, there may be a video in the future how we use that, and we can show it and put it into action, and get out there on the lake and show what we do.
Right. So, man, if you guys want to see some of the tools that we use when we're out there going to, plan ahead and get out there on the water and stuff, we want to kind of give and share what we're using that kind of helps us out, right? These apps or whatnot that we're using. And it's simple stuff that you guys have at your fingertips, We're actually looking for your input, man. Let us know in the comments right now if there's a tool or an application that you want to see. Hey, man, show me how to tie a knot. Show me how to do this, set up this rig. Show me how to, what do I need to take out to the water, man? And that's kind of, I think that's what we should talk about today, man, is just be like, what is it that we do when we're prepping for, our fishing, a day on the water? You know?
There is prep into it, and it not only is there prep into it, how much money do you want to spend?
Right? It can go from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah. Do you want to go buy bait? Do you want to catch bait yourself to save the money? If you're catfishing and you want to go buy shad or bluegill or whatever, bro, you're coming out of money, right? So we were talking earlier. I went and bought a 12-pack of beer, right?
Right on.
Couple packs of smokes and a full tank of gas.
Yeah.
I spent $130. 12-pack of beer, couple packs of smokes, and a full tank of gas. Off the rip, right? So imagine pulling a boat. So imagine you're putting that money in a boat. And
depends on what kind of boat.
So you can, and then your gear and everything. Think about the money you're putting into it. I'm not knocking. If I had the money and I had the boat and I could do it, I would.
Yeah.
Right.
The reality is we don't have that money.
We don't.
Unless you guys keep buying merch from us, and then we definitely.
Yeah. Come on, keep it coming.
Yeah. So hey, again, man, look. Hey, so off the top, man, you go and you fill up your truck. You get some brews and you get a pack of smokes and you get out there and get ready. That's not even including bait, tackle,
your gear.
Your gear. So if we total it up right now, it's an expense, right? Now, do you need to spend top dollar to go out and have a good fishing experience? Not necessarily.
If you ask me, no, you don't.
See, and I think that's a controversial topic, man, because, everyone says, like, Grandpa was doing it with a Zebco 808, man, and he didn't have, these Shimano DCs and, these top-end, $300-$400 rods, let alone a combo, and they were getting it done, so
I caught the biggest fish of my life on probably $50, well, maybe more. I'll say $70 rod and reel together, probably $70 rod and reel, right?
Right.
And I mean, that's a memory for the rest of your life right there. Just
biggest fish of your life.
Biggest fish of my life.
Potential lake record.
Not potential. It is. If I submit, but I'm not going to. I got no need to.
I think you need to submit it, bro.
I'm not going to, man.
Well, good for you, man, because you're not looking for the clout. You're not looking for the recognition. You know it's there. You got it.
Yeah, and if I catch another one, then I will, right? If I do it 1, 2, 3 times, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And maybe we do that this year. But the bottom line is, yeah, you don't need, I don't need a $200 rod and a $300 reel to be able to do that. $70, with that one. Now, maybe I had, I probably had 6 other rods out there at one time, but on that one combo, that's what it was, about a $70 ordeal right there.
Right on. So let me ask you this, man. If you're saving here, right, for say your gear, so your tackle or your rod and reel combo, right? So say you're not spending $300 on a rod and reel, right? What is it that you don't skimp out on? Is there something that you say like, oh, well, that's where I kind of draw the line. I'm gonna spend, is it line? Is it hooks? Is it I want to know that.
Man, you're gonna laugh. Yeah. So for me, the cheapest thing is what I don't skip out on, and it's hooks. I buy quality hooks.
Good.
I buy quality hooks.
Yeah.
And the reason being is a lot of the times with
it's the last thing between you and that fish.
That's the last thing, and I've missed big fish because of bad hooks.
Okay.
I've missed big fish because I've never had a rod broken.
Okay.
And it's all about technique and drag setting and things like that on your reel, right? And I've had fish just bend hooks or break hooks. Yeah. Because it's cheap. If it's cheap hooks, I don't. If I'm fishing for big fish, I don't use cheap hooks. If I'm fishing for bait, I use cheap hooks. So if I'm catching bluegill and things like that, yeah, I use cheap hooks. But when I'm targeting big fish, I spend money on hooks.
See, and that's my thing, man, is like, even if you do spend money on the rod and reel combo and you got the best line you can buy for your dollar or whatever, why stop there? You know what I mean? Like, so this is a good subject because it kind of all ties into like terminal tackle. I think that's
super important.
Super important, man. Whether you're tying on jigs, you're tying on a hook, a rig, a leader, that is the last point of contact between you and the fish. And
all connection points.
Yeah,
any connection point.
And to me, honestly, like the less connection points I could potentially have, to me, that would be better, depending on the kind of fishing I'm doing. I'm fishing for largemouth bass. I need the finest, smooth or sleekest presentation I can potentially get because I like to think that the fish are onto you. You know what I mean? They're outsmarting us with a brain this size compared to ours, right? But for different kind of fishing, you can have a healthy rig on there. You can have a healthy leader, and are you going to skimp out on the quality, the material, the knot? We can go for days talking about knots,
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to have their own different opinions on it, but it's, I mean...
What is your knot of choice?
Depends what I'm fishing.
Let's just talk straight to hook.
Straight to hook, if I'm bass fishing, I'm going to use a polymer knot. That's my favorite.
Same here.
But if I'm catfishing, a snail, a knotless snail hook that's my go-to. But I also kind of have a...
Now, your catfishing application, are you doing more like a leader setup? Or
yeah, a leader setup. So I normally if I'm fishing in rivers or things like that with a lot of current, and if I know if I'm fishing in log jams or big rocks and things like that, I may re-spool my reels with mono.
Okay.
But normally what I fish in lakes and things like that.
Let us know why. What is the mono preference?
The abrasion resistance. So,
Good.
so braid, you get a big fish on, and especially in current, a big fish in current, feels twice as big. And if you touch a rock or something like that, that braid snapping is going, right? Mono gives you a little more wiggle room in there.
Now, what do you feel about fluoro?
I'm
Is
mono,
it just because you feel like they're kind of like the same, or
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, and
is
you
it
can
the
get
same?
mono a little cheaper, can't you?
I
feel like
I
you
think
can.
so. And,
Yeah.
bro, I'm cheap, man. Like I am a cheap guy, and mono, and I don't buy high dollar mono. I don't buy high dollar braid, but it could be better. I don't know. So I could be talking on my ass right now.
Well, bottom line, every angler has a budget. Period.
Yep.
Every angler has a budget.
I fish on my budget. That's
There you
what
go.
I'll say. I fish on my budget.
Sure.
And I've been able to make it work.
Every angler has a budget. Every hunter has a budget. I mean, it's the one thing that I tell everyone, like, what is your budget? Let's start with that. And then, okay, so if you want to get yourself a decent rig, a decent setup, budget's got to be first in mind, right? Because, I mean, we can point you in a direction that will go in the, in the hundreds. Or I can get you set up on a rig or a setup that get you on the water successful, especially like most people that, I get, texts and messages and stuff, and people are like, hey man, I'm going to take my kid fishing for the first time. I don't fish. I see you guys get out there. This is what I want to do. Can you help me, point me in the right direction? Sometimes I meet people at the tackle shop, man, and set them up and get them all,
You meet them on the water, and they're like,
yeah,
hey,
and then I take them out and show them, how to use the stuff, and get them started on a couple small little tackle trays and say, hey, this is what you need. This is the basics. This will get you on the water. You don't have to spend a lot of money. And I'll be honest with you, I got enough tackle to where most people that ask me, I'm going to go ahead and just be like, here, man, I'm going to set you up.
I'm going to set you up. I'm going to show you what
because
I do.
That's what it's about, man. It's like showing somebody how to fish, teaching someone how to show someone else.
Yeah.
Especially fathers and sons, man. That hits home, man.
It's right here.
Yeah, man. That's how I started fishing, man. My dad, he, man, when I was young, man, he got me on the water. And I've told this story before. Like, I grew up.
Where at, though?
South Texas, man.
South
Corpus
Texas,
Christi.
Yeah.
Where did you start fishing?
I started fishing in southeast Oklahoma. I was kind of a river rat. Like, I started off doing a lot of river fishing, both bass, sand bass, and catfish, and farm ponds. So many farm ponds.
Did you ever go like gigging for frogs?
Yeah, dude.
That was a kid. I don't know if that's a kid thing, or is that like? I mean, I'm
still
still foreign to it now.
I still have one.
Okay.
Like, yeah, we'll go do it. I have some frog gigs.
Can we do that here? Like, I haven't done that since
Yeah.
the. I mean, I grew up on the ponds and stuff, and where, I talk about how like I went from Corpus Christi to, the surrounding areas, those small towns that were little private ponds and stuff, and like I was kind of a river rat too, the Nueces River down there, and we would go fishing down there, set up gar line. I used to set up gar lines on my way to school. Like, go set up some gar lines and then walk down to the bus stop, get at school, come back after school. I was in kindergarten, and I walked down the road, probably about a mile, go down there and check my lines, and, that
Dude,
was,
talk about an unappreciated fish.
Yeah.
Super unappreciated.
And like, I don't know how it is everywhere else, but in South Texas, like, we eat the crap out of, man. We call it, in Spanish, we call it catan. And all it is just like gar, or it's alligator gar, but that's what we refer to. But anyone that knows, the real ones know, man, you're eating that.
I've had it like quite a few times.
Gar balls. And
gar balls. That's the only
man.
way I had it is gar balls.
Yeah.
I love catching gar, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of eating it.
Is it too greasy for you?
It's not that it's too greasy. It's too much of a pain in the ass to, get the tin snips out and you're cutting them out. Like it is. It's a whole different process than what it is cleaning a catfish, a crappie, a walleye, a bat,
but
whatever
bro,
it is.
You earn everything else you hunt,
you do, but
you
they're so fun to catch. And that's the reason.
Like, just me thinking about you, like, you earn everything else you harvest. Like, that's got to be the one thing that you're just like, it has to be a reason, like, it's just not worth it.
So this thing about catching them too, like you're not out catching numbers. You're not worried about catching numbers. You're worried about size. You may spend the entire day to catch one fish.
Yeah.
That's, 5 to 7 to 8 foot long fish.
So I think that's the one species that you're not really culling for a bigger fish. You know what I mean? Like most, even carp, like you're going after and you're like, I'm going to see how big I can get. Catfish, same thing.
Yep.
Bass all day. You're always trying to chase.
You're looking for number and size.
Correct. Well, number is fun, but size is always like what we're trying to beat, right? You're always trying to beat your personal best. But I mean, I just think about that, and I think about like for Gar, it was always, for me, it was always food. Like it was just like I just need to bring that in, And as a young kid growing up down there in South Texas, I fished Nueces River if I was freshwater fishing. Or the lakes down there, but for Gar, it was in the Nueces River, and we would go pull those in and feed the family,
Feed the family, man. That's what it's about.
That's what it is.
Dude,
about, right?
One of these days, my mom has a story. She was like, oh man, I'm trying to think of. It was like an old character in one of the Louis L'Amour books or whatever. I can't remember who it was, but I brought home a fish in the wintertime. It was a bass, but the ponds froze over, and I found a bass that was like frozen in the ice.
Yeah.
So I took it out of the ice and I brought it home, and my mom was like, "Oh my God, like how'd you do that?"
Oh wow.
Yeah. So my mom thought, I was 12, 13 years old, so I made up some bullshit story about.
You'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it or whatever. And she was like, "Oh, you're
spirited."
Like, yeah. She's like, "You're the most badass, outdoorsman kid ever." And
That's
I'm like,
cool.
"Yeah, look at my bass."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than lipping someone else's bass and taking pictures with it. So it's different.
Yeah. Well, I think we've probably all been.
I think
we're not gonna
I
talk
definitely
about
want
that.
to take a picture with the biggest bass I've been around. I won't post it and be like, "This is what I caught." But I want for me.
But I want a picture with it.
I want a picture of that sucker. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, so, dude. So let's talk a little bit more about like growing up and fishing, man. So it's a passion of mine. Like when I talk about fishing, all it takes me to is my childhood. Like nothing I've ever done as an adult trumps the experience as a young kid fishing with his dad or all that stuff.
I still remember it, and still to this day, me and my dad, we try to do an annual fishing trip.
Yeah.
On the river, in Comiskey River,
yeah,
in southeast Oklahoma. We still try to do that annually, and it's so fun. My dad had a tire shop when I was growing up,
cool.
and I worked in that tire shop, and I remember he had a 14-foot flat bottom boat. And I remember asking, I'd be like, "Dad, can I get off work early? I just want to go fish. I want to take the boat and go fish." And I would just run up and down that river, catfishing and bass fishing, sand bass when sand bass would come up, and just trying to be on that river as much as I possibly can.
And you go out there trolling, getting out there on your own?
Getting on them. So, yeah. I would go out there, me and my brother, or maybe a friend, or sometimes. But most of the time, my dad would go with us, and it'd be me, my dad, my brother, and we would just be on that river hammering fish. And that's something that we still look forward to every year now.
And you guys stick to it. You just kind of try to
the same boat, same 14-foot flat bottom boat,
bro. That is special.
It's awesome.
I challenge any of you guys that if you got something like that going with your family, friends, loved ones, man, keep that tradition alive, man, because it's kind of going away in a sense, like the whole, like I have a son that is just, he's just not into it. You know what I mean?
To each their own.
Yeah, and
you're into it or you're not.
And man, we're gonna link up and do it, and just I'm gonna show him like what it is that drives me and why, but like he's a musician, man, so he's like super talented. He's always doing his thing, and I follow him in his interests, but it's just different, man. Like I just wanted to. It wasn't that I wanted to be with my dad so much. I hate to say that, but it was. I really did love fishing. Like growing up, like I wanted to fish. I wanted to go out there and like, and maybe try to like beat theirs and like and why not learn from the best, right? To me, like those guys were slamming it. And they're bringing home the bacon, right? So they're coming in with these ice chests, and back then, man, you know, growing up poor, dude, like, it's a different story, man.
Totally different.
I mean,
bringing home the bacon at that point.
yeah, like, I mean, I know there's limits and minimums and maxes and all that stuff, but like when you're feeding your family,
When there's hungry bellies to fill
bro,
up,
it's a change. It's a change game. Like today's, I would say, I live in an area where we have a pretty balanced economy. You know what I mean? We have a pretty stable economy here. This particular area probably doesn't know that life, you know, based off of the military industrial complex and all that stuff. You know, I mean, most people in this area are pretty stable. There is some areas where, you know, they're looking, and I've been out on the water with people that are like, look, man, I'm just fishing for food. And then I'm just handing them, you know, fish and stuff. Most of the time I'm catch, photo, and release. But
that's the difference now. Like you said, growing up like that, kind of the same way, is it's foreign to a lot of people.
Sure.
Based off we're like you said, we're in a stable economy where we're at now. So it's foreign to a lot of people now. So if we say that, they may not understand it, but coming up to where you came up and where I came up,
and it has nothing to do with geographical.
Normal.
It's nothing to do with geographical location. It's just circumstances
at a time,
because we had our ups and downs. You know what I mean? And
we still do.
Yeah, and it's those times where I'm empathetic to those who are outside of that gray area or that, you know, that black and white area or whatever. And it's just like, I get it, man. I was there. I've been there. But I will say this, though, to promote and endorse, right, the legal, you know, left and right limits of fishing and hunting, I can tell you this. It is so much cheaper to pay for the license, pay for the, you know, regulation, and pay for the right to, because it's a right. You know, it's
a privilege.
It's a privilege, I mean. Pay for the privilege to fish in the public areas and in the fisheries, hunt in those places. It's much cheaper to pay for that license and go out and stick within those limitations than it is to absorb that fine and have to. Now you're putting your family in a deeper bind and all that stuff. So, I mean, I know this gets a little dark. It gets a little dark, but it's reality, man. I mean, I think it's okay to talk about it because it's a reality.
It is, man. It's lessons learned too. Just like you said, I've been there where I say I'm going out. I don't have the license.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring some food to the house, right?
Yeah.
I get caught fishing without a license, over limit, you know, whatever the case may be. I have to end up paying a fine because I'm trying to bring in, you know, a few pounds of fish, a few pounds of meat to the house, and now I'm out a few $100.
Yeah.
Over a couple pounds of meat. And you're right. Just it's better off to just go ahead and pay what you got to pay and adhere to those, whatever the creel limits, length limits, size limits, everything is just adhere to it, because in the long run, if you get caught, you're paying more money.
Yeah, and I think that's relatable, man. I mean, I think it's safe to talk about because it's a real thing, man. You know, like, you know, everyone has their circumstance, everyone has their situation, you know, and we get in a place to where when you're providing for your family and you're trying to fish for food and you're trying to hunt for food and all that stuff, man, it's just safer. It's just easier to stick within those legal limits. And we don't promote or endorse by no means going outside of that. But it's a real thing, and I think it's safe to talk about because, you know, the game wardens, they know, and they'll I'll be honest with you.
There's some sympathy and empathy within them. I've had enough interaction with them.
Yeah.
But who better to have that conversation with than a game warden? Maybe we can do that.
I think it can happen, man. And as a matter of fact, I've reached out to a local game warden here, and I'm super excited about potentially having that game warden sit here with us on the podcast, man. And I want your comments, man. Let us know what questions you want to ask the game warden. We're going to bring somebody on. They may or may not be in uniform at the time, but I mean, who cares? I mean, we really just want to put out information, but let us know about, like, what are the questions you have for the game? Well, let's clear up some rumors. Let's clear up some like.
That's a good point. Let us know now so that when when the game warden does come on, let us know the questions now that you have, because I have a few that are in the gray area that I still operate in that gray area with, where I'm like, oh, I'm on this side, and I'm on this side of the law, I'm on this side, because it is gray. So I'm going to ask
there
them
are
when they're
some
here.
areas that are questionable. There's some areas that we can, we plan to clear those questions up,
Yeah.
because we want to, at the end of the day, we want to share information. We want to share facts and not rumors. And we want to be able to actually clear up the questions so that, man, if it can save you money, if it can save you, some pain in the ass freaking requirements or some additional freaking.
There's
all
some
that.
crazy ones out there, man. There's some.
There is, and the truth is there's a lot of laws, especially in Texas, that are antiquated.
You don't have to agree with them, though.
Yeah.
So many of them I don't agree with, but is what it is.
Yeah. So, let's when we get to talking to the game warden, man, we like you guys to drop your comments now. Let us know, because we're gonna have a game warden sitting down here with us, and we're gonna try to ask them all those tough questions that we have. And if you have some, man, share them with us, and we'll put them on there, and we'll get those tough questions out of the way. You know what I mean? And at the same time, that's the best time to ask, like, true facts, nonfiction. Tell me how it is,
man. Dude, it's gonna be. I don't want to put him on the spot, right? So we don't want to put him on the spot, but there's going to be some tough questions in there. So we're not going to go easy, right? So we're not just going to,
Right.
give the easy question. Should you wear a life vest on the boat? No.
Yeah.
I don't want to give those easy questions. We want to dig deep, and we want to get into those gray area questions.
Yeah. So if you have them and you can share them with us, man, let us know so that we can share your comments and your questions and your concerns. And we can get some good information to you that could potentially keep you out of trouble. At the same time, we clear all the rumors, clear all the, all the barracks lawyers that tell us, well, that ain't really it.
Bro, there's plenty of them out there.
There is,
There's so many. If you look at any hunt or fishing group, you're going to find those barracks lawyers on there.
Absolutely.
You're going to find, they can tell you the rules and the laws better than the game warden.
Sure.
But they're not real, man. Not fact.
That's right. We'll get them from the
facts.
source, and we'll see how that goes, man. But I think we came at this with no game plan, just kind of coming in here and wanting to talk, and we were like, man, just hit record.
Let's go, man. Let's drink a beer, talk. But what do you want to do next?
So, man,
I'll tell you what I was thinking. We were talking about wants and needs and things like that. So we need to get ready for market days. We need to get our products ready. We need to do this. But I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to get on the water. I want to fish.
So
I want to show how we pick, how we go fish.
Why don't we do that, man? Let's share the tools and the things that we use to kind of plan ahead, and then let's show how those are being applied while we're fishing. You know what I mean? So we can talk about, what do you use? What do you check? What are you planning for?
What are you looking at?
Right. So let's share.
Why did you pick this spot?
Exactly. Why did you pick that day?
Yeah.
Why did you not pick that day? You know what I mean? There's days that we say, today's not the day, and there's days where we're like, bro, did you look at the weather? Tuesday's looking good.
Today is looking. Call in Ben. Call in.
Exactly. So and that goes for from the bank, on the boat, kayak fishing. I would like to kind of talk about how we prep for every one of those applications.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just knowledge. It's just like sharing information. You guys, if you have something that differs, man, share it with us. Let us know. And
teach us something. Share your tips.
By no means do we claim to know all the tricks.
I'm not a professional.
Absolutely, I am not either. So we got nothing in any record books yet.
Could well, yeah, could.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what, before I ever take any claim to being an elite angler, it wouldn't be just for one species. You know what I mean? I'd have to be out there slamming every species and saying, I can pull you any fish to the surface of the water, get them in my boat or on the bank, and secure that freaking fish before I ever claim myself to be an elite.
Dude, hats off, man, because I'm the same way. Like, you can't catch one big fish and think you're, badass.
Yeah.
It's there's so much luck involved in fishing and hunting.
Yeah.
It's a big deal with luck. So
I would say that the only way you can increase your luck is increase your time on the water or in the field.
Yep.
Bottom line, you can't catch them from the couch. So we just talked about that today before we got out here and went live. Was like, man, we need to get out there and because we've been doing so much behind the scenes on prepping for the business.
It's busy,
and we get stretched in because we're a small crew, but every person in the crew is working on a different project, right? And collectively, we are Cast and Blast Outfitters, and everybody's contributing. However, we're stretched so thin because we are a small crew. And, big productions, man, for podcasts and YouTube channels. That's the thing. We're not YouTubers.
No, transparency, right? Who films this? Who films it? We do. Who edits it?
We do.
We do. Who's out trying to get ready for deer season next year?
That's us. We're putting the blinds up. We're setting those feeders up. We're feeding year round. We're
running a website, getting ready for market day, setting up booths.
We're contacting vendors. We're contacting clients. We're responding to messages, and it's just us. And not to mention we're a couple of dysfunctional veterans that probably aren't operating
we're not
on all cylinders.
I spent a few days in a hospital last week, and I was told that you're not operating on all cylinders.
See, there you go.
Yeah, so I got it. I know that. Thanks.
Every day we're getting checked, and we're getting reminded that we are human, and we aren't superhuman, and don't have, superhuman strengths that can, be extended beyond our real limitations. Our real limitations are it's just us, and we have a crew, and every person on the crew, we got a crew of what, five guys? Five guys, man, and everybody on that crew plays a key role and contributes to our productivity.
Here's the deal: we love what we do, and we do what we love, though.
Bottom line, that's the end of the day.
That's it, man.
We're having fun doing it. But, we hope that we don't let anyone down when we don't get a podcast out every week, or we're not putting out as much content as
we try.
But keep in mind, man, we're not the freaking Guggen Squad. You know what I mean? And
nope.
We're not gonna be that. But
not yet.
Hey,
not yet.
Watch yourself, Guggen Squad. We're coming.
Rob.
But no,
Bunkers.
I'm having fun.
John.
Yeah.
We'll keep going. Perrick.
Yeah.
Lojo.
Yeah.
We'll just keep going. One Rod. We love you. Hey, we love you guys.
Honestly, man, we've been following you guys for years. You guys. Maybe one day we'll do a collabo, and that would be like the ultimate thing for us. Chip it off or knock it off the checklist, and that's when we feel like we made it. But I mean, the reality is we had no intention of being that. All we wanted to do was have fun, sharing our passion for hunting and fishing, and that's what we're doing, and that's why we are the Cast and Blast Outfitters, and we just decided the podcast was kind of like icing on the cake, man.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's have fun with it. Let's do it, and keep that community and family together as veterans too.
Yeah,
right. As veterans, you lose that aspect of the camaraderie and the family.
Yeah.
And you just want to keep that connection, and that's another thing that we try to do in the veteran communities: keep that family connection together.
Yeah, I mean that's the I think that's the true glue that holds us together, man. Is that veteran background? We actually served. We were talking about that setting up the booth.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like, man, when you serve with someone, I don't have to tell Jimmy, hand me this tool, tie this there, put that there, hook that up. Like, we've actually served together, and those it goes without saying. Like, I don't have to explain to you what to do. It's a seamless type of operation.
Yeah, you mentioned what needs to happen, and you already know what the end goal is.
We're working towards the same goal.
You had the same goal. We already understand the mentality of how to reach that, so you just make it happen.
And that goes the same with our business, man. And that's how we're going to get to where we're going. And with you guys' support, man, we really appreciate, you following us, subscribing to our channel, purchasing our merch on our website. If you're not going to our website, go check us out at cast-and-blast-outfitters.com. On that website, you can see a link to our podcast. You can see all our catalogs to our merch. We're designing new products literally every day, coming up with a new product. And it's all with the restraints and constraints of budget, and we're trying to stay within, like, see, that's another thing, man. Like,
time and budget, man.
Made in the USA. So like, we are veterans staying true to made in the USA.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand how hard that is in today's world.
I didn't until we started working. I had no clue we could get something made in China for so much
pennies
cheaper.
on the dollar.
Pennies on the dollar.
But we're staying true to being made.
Are
in
you
America.
A sellout? I'm not a
Come
sellout,
on, bro. Look at what's on my sleeve right now. We earned the right to fly this flag proudly, and take a look at that right there, man. That's our flags right there.
That's it right there.
And that's what we stand by, bro. We're gonna stick to that.
Bam.
We're gonna stick to that, man, and it's gonna be that all day. So you know where we stand. You know what we represent. That's why we say be recognized. We want to recognize those who represent us. You know what I mean? And we represent taking a special love for our country, and we're gonna continue to do that. We're gonna stay true to being made in the USA.
Dude, if I got this on my right, if I had this flag on me, the confidence, it just expels confidence, right? Like, you have.
Hey, I'm proud of it, and I stick to it.
It is, man. Just love it.
That's what I do. That's what we're doing,
about
man.
it.
So if you appreciate that, cool. If you don't, and hey, let us know in the comments, man. I'll have that conversation with you, and I could tell you, bottom line up front, it's never going to change for me.
Can't change my mind. It's not going to.
It's not going to happen, man. There are some people that we serve with that didn't have the privilege to come home with us. We'll never take that and let them die in vain. And for that, we live to that tradition and keep that love for our country on our sleeve, brother.
That's the reason it's there.
That's the reason it's there, brother. And, man, I know I don't want to get emotional, but it's the real thing, man. And it was an honor to serve with you, brother. It's been an honor to have business with you, man. And we're going to continue this tradition.
We got it together. We got it.
So, check it out, man. We're going to wrap up the podcast. Hopefully, the next time you guys see us, we're going to have some content out on the water. Jimmy, I think we got some great stuff to share with the guys.
We'll be on the water. We'll be on the water. Guaranteed. The next one will be on the water. And stay tuned, because we're going to be bringing that game warden on with us. Yeah.
And when we introduce him to you guys are going to just like flood us. Man, maybe we can do that live.
Yeah, maybe
live on YouTube.
No, big thing is, let us know what questions you want answered, because that's one thing. Hey, what questions? He says, what do you have?
Right.
What do you got for me?
Yeah.
We'll find it. Let us know what you want, because we know what we want, but we want to know what you want.
Yes. So let us know, man, and we'll ask those questions, man. Hey, if you're following right now and you're watching this podcast, man, drop a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you think. I mean, if we're doing something wrong, we'll improve. If we're doing something that you like, let us know. We need that feedback. So we get some great
honest feedback.
We get some great comments, but man, we're looking for that feedback so we can improve. So again, you know, you're looking at a couple of guys who are here doing live, pretty much unedited. I won't say unedited, because we go back and we add some graphics to it and stuff like that. But we try not to cut nothing out. We try not to chop it and bring anything.
Bro, it just burped, man. You're gonna hear it.
Yeah. It's gonna be in there. Yeah,
you're gonna hear it.
So raw, unedited, couple of dysfunctional veterans bringing you a podcast that we hope you're enjoying. Man, hope you're enjoying this as much as we are. We're gonna sign out. Pinche Ben and Jimmy, PB&J,
PB&J,
Cast and Blast Outfitters. Peace.